How are you doing today? So today we are going to talk about China and its technology and how its technology affects the whole world. So today I'll be basically talking about Chinese way of technology and how its technology is evolving and affecting the whole world through many mainstream medias like the TikTok. TikTok is one of a Chinese company which it is feared that the Chinese government can be using TikTok to influence or get data of users into the government, because China is a country which is led by a government which is communist, and a government which is communist can be able to access any data of any company that it is in its state. So before, many years before, there was a company which was growing so fast that the Chinese government could not be able to control. And that company is the one that made WeChat. And WeChat is a type of application which is more common in China than the rest of the world. And China being a population of more than 1.4 billion, WeChat has been able to grow, and its market in China has been able to sustain it. So WeChat was competing with WhatsApp, but WeChat in China outgrew the other companies like WhatsApp in China. But WeChat outside China, WhatsApp is the leading company which leads with communication through phone to phone. But inside China, it is WeChat. There are so many reasons because of this company leading, because WeChat is a company which, what they have done is they have incorporated many applications in the WeChat application. So WeChat has basically become a multi-level operating system where you can access many apps, like you can access KFC in the WeChat. You can, when you want to go to shopping, you just access shopping in the WeChat. And one of the feature which is incorporated on the WeChat app is you can be able to pay through the WeChat. There's a payment which can be done in the WeChat. And WeChat is a company which was among its founders, and it founded the payment process as a joke back in the late 2015 over there, where it had incorporated a program where you can be able to send somebody a gift. It was a holiday in China where people were celebrating a particular holiday, and that holiday required people to be sent gifts. So what WeChat did, it created a software inside the WeChat app, and that software inside the WeChat app, somebody could be able to send a gift to the other person. So after creating that thing, it just didn't have the further idea to incorporate it. But when it had launched that application of sending gifts to one another, is when it is when that thing blew up, and WeChat realized they can make money through sending through mobile money. Somebody can send somebody else money through the mobile, and that's how WeChat incorporated the mobile money through the application of WeChat. And since that day, WeChat has taken over the market of China, and many people are using WeChat in China to make payments, to do orders, because when you go to the WeChat app, unlike the WeChat app which is in China, the WeChat app which is in China, compared to the WeChat app which is all over the world, the WeChat app in China has many applications, and it also has a lot of features inside it. When you look at the WeChat of the world, it is just a simple basic WeChat, but the WeChat in China is a different type of application. And the government of China has prevented a lot of things from being, it has prevented the citizens of China from accessing most of the websites which all over the world we can be able to access. Some of these websites are like YouTube and one thing the Chinese government have made excuses for doing this and saying that it wants to promote local content and it wants to promote local innovations. They want to promote locally things like YouTube. So they don't want to use the YouTube which the whole world is using. So the Chinese government has used firewalls to block this, block the citizens from accessing YouTube and accessing other websites which all over the world are using. And just imagine the Chinese government being able to block some of the things like YouTube. Imagine how can the Chinese government also use that knowledge to block some of the things from the Chinese people to access. So the citizens of China have limited information which they can access, and some of the information are just they're screened and they are viewed by the government. And after being viewed by the government is when the Chinese government can allow what type of information that the Chinese people can view. So people have been saying that TikTok in China have a certain type of algorithm different from the other algorithm which is in the rest part of the world. The algorithm for China, it's when you open TikTok for China, it brings you innovative things, but when you open TikTok for the rest of the world, it brings you different things like people dancing. But for China is technology and innovative. So the Chinese people are able to learn from TikTok, but the rest of the world use TikTok as a social media and as a way of fun. But China is a way of learning from TikTok. So one of the things which it has led to the USA having insecurities concerning the application which was made by a Chinese firm called TikTok. China can be able to access any data, whatever it wants from a company which is in it. So a company like TikTok, the Chinese government, when it wants any data through the app of TikTok, it will be able to access it. And bear fact that TikTok is in various people's phone, and the TikTok can be able to access. People have given it. They have allowed TikTok to access files in their phones. It has allowed TikTok to access messages. So if the TikTok company wants to access any type of information and data concerning a particular type of person or concerning a particular type of nation, it can be able to achieve that, take that data and use it for its own purpose and its own way. And being China and USA having some type of enmity, it has caused a USA to have that caution that China might use that data to study USA and also be able to know the plans of USA, because some of this TikTok has been installed in devices of high people in the US government, people like the secretary generals in US. The TikTok has been installed to them. So it is also a matter of level of national security, which is a concern to the USA. And also TikTok, China has restricted many companies. If a company wants to grow further and more, like in the case of WeChat, it implies sanctions on you. The Chinese government cannot allow a particular company which is in China to outgrow Chinese government and to outgrow it completely. It has to remain under the control of the Chinese government. So WeChat there's a time that WeChat was growing globally, and it wanted to invest into other countries, but what the Chinese government, it had to impose sanctions on it, and it had to bring the WeChat app down from becoming the top level application, because when it outgrows the level of the Chinese government, the whole world will be able to access it. And through that, the Chinese government would be able to have privileges of looking up to data of people, because the Chinese government use WeChat to look at data of its citizens, so the Chinese government can know this citizen is a good citizen, this citizen searches this and this citizen likes this type of information and this type of content. So as the WeChat knows what and how a particular type of its client performs wakes up, the duration which he takes through looking at his phone in the WeChat application is recorded and kept as data. So the Chinese government can access this data to target you and know the times which you're free and the time which you're not free. So, and one of the things which the Chinese government did to prevent this company from growing is by implying sanctions to this company, because this company was growing out of large. And one thing about Chinese government and Chinese government is they have a particular type of law which is communism. Communism is where somebody is able to share its resources across everybody in the country. Nothing is really for somebody in Chinese. So even technology is mostly communism. If somebody has an idea, the idea is automatically shared to other different types of people automatically. So things like the applications which are in China, anybody can make any application, anybody can do a copyright of any application. There is no copyright rules in China because everything is for everybody. And a company like WeChat has grown so much on this because it has been able to copy smaller firms which are growing and take its ideas and it implies on them. So growing companies have no chance in competing with these bigger companies, because when these bigger companies come to you and tell you, we want this type of deal with you, and if you refuse, what they do is they go and make your idea into a more sophisticated idea and develop it even more, where their idea outshines your idea, but all in all it was your idea first. So there is no copyright in China, unlike the Western countries where there's copyright. A small company can grow and become a big company. In China, if you're a big company, you can mishandle the smaller companies and take the ideas. Even the smaller companies can take the ideas of big companies, but it won't grow because the bigger companies have already taken the larger share of the market. So, and also data also can be used as a communism. When the Chinese government wants data concerning its citizens from this type of application like WeChat, it can be able to access that data, and the Chinese government is the government which helps these big corporations and big companies maintain their power so that they can continue having the data of their citizens. So there are some of things which the WeChat and some of the applications and companies in China have restricted the Chinese citizen to see, and they have restricted, and these companies have been helping the Chinese government to enforce this law by doing certain types of algorithms, which I've told you earlier on. The algorithms of trying to Chinese, when you go to TikTok in China, it has a different type of content. The content which is in China is basically the content where people are learning, people are doing innovative stuff. But when you go to other different type of countries, content, they have a different type of content. People partying, that's their content. But the Chinese government controls what type of content is fed to the citizens in China. And this also has resulted into the fear of the United States that the Chinese government can be pulling some strings, that the rest of the world can be seeing some type of content so that they can be brainwashed. So TikTok right now is having a calamity between it and also USA. And right now USA is considering to to ban TikTok from top government officials which are in USA to ban the application of TikTok. So nobody will be able to download the application of TikTok if you are in a government position. And also this is a plus because China, it's outgrowing, and China growth rate is very fast, and the type of method which China uses, it's a bad method where no one is able to say anything, but the Chinese government is the final say. So this is a type of way of ruling people, which is there's no democracy at all, and people should have a negotiation in what they should do, because this life belongs to everybody and doesn't belongs to a particular type of system. So basically that's the type of system which goes on in the country of Russia, and that's their technology. So their technology, if anyone comes up with an idea, you can take that idea and use it for yourself. Create an app if you can, and if you be able to be successful and compete with the big companies, then you're lucky. But the bigger companies, if they see you're growing and you're growing at a fast rate, they will take your idea and also implement it to themselves so that they can outgrow you. So WeChat was among the first companies before TikTok came. So the reason why WeChat was not able to look at the idea of TikTok and snatch it from it, because that time WeChat had underestimated TikTok and didn't see TikTok as something which was valuable. But to their shock and to their to the TikTok had disapproved them, and also had taken the larger market of the whole world. Before WeChat had already realized that TikTok has grown into the market, TikTok had already become a bigger company. So, but if WeChat had seen that TikTok has a potential, it would have already taken its ideas and it had implemented it, and it would have now created its own TikTok. But TikTok rose up from the ground without even WeChat being able to see it, because it had underestimated TikTok. Now TikTok has gone even more viral than WeChat, and right now TikTok is even more viral than even Instagram, because right now TikTok is causing people have joined TikTok because of its short videos. TikTok is one of the people who introduced the short videos, where you can view a video which is 1 minute and you can view it at with also low mobile data. So this ingenuity caused TikTok to shoot up. Before TikTok had come, people would view longer videos, and there was no thing like short videos. And also you see there are many people, after TikTok had introduced the short videos, companies like YouTube and also Instagram have also introduced short videos into the market. So that's how TikTok grew, and that's the technology of China. And anything that the Chinese government wants, it can access it through these local farms. And if it wants to know a particular type of country, its data, when it wakes up, what type of activities and the busy hours of the people, and what the nature of people, and also the population of the people, population on the women's side and also the men's side, which type of population gender is more than the other. So TikTok can be able to know this, and if this information can be able to be accessed by the government of China, this can cause a lot of issues, because China can do a lot of things. And also if TikTok can be able to access our files and folders, then also this can be also dangerous for people around the world, and also our day-to-day life, because we won't be living in a democratic way. We'll be living in a type of way where China can be able to do anything with our data. So please subscribe to this channel and watch out for the next video, and I hope you like this video. And I say thank you for watching. Until